Hey guys, I'm back on Wisdom for a minute, and I hope you're doing well. Um, I have some thoughts because, to be honest, I get a lot of notifications on Wisdom about different people coming on with their life journey, with their story of resilience, adaptability. Although I think we can use more adaptability, but I'm seeing them come up with spirituality and inspiration and life journeys, and I think that's all awesome. But how you know how can we all collaborate as a wisdom team to bring our messages outside of this app? Because right now it feels like we're all talking to each other or listening to each other and tag and join Wisdom app on Twitter. Well, at least I do. But there's something more brewing here. There's something more that needs to be expanded and unleashed into the world, because it is very tough to stay spiritually grounded when you hear what's going on in Ukraine, when you hear that people are going to start really getting hurt with the gas prices. It hurts with all the doomsday scenarios that continues to go. So how do we keep spiritual in this culture? Well, wisdom is one. Citing incredible stories is another. And songs and hymns. And this past Sunday in church, speaking of spirituality, uh, we sang "A Mighty Fortress is Our God," written by Martin Luther. And he has the best verse that I think all because because in this time of really uncertain times, we tremble. The lyric in "A Mighty Fortress," and through this world, and though this world with devils filled should threaten to undo us, we will not fear, for God has willed his truth to triumph us. The prince of darkness grim, we tremble not for him. His rage we can endure, for lo, his doom is sure. One little word shall fell him. Basically, we will triumph over what's going on in Ukraine right now. We will triumph, thanks be to God, if we do not tremble, but stay firm and strong in our activism against Russia, in our protests against Russia, speaking into existence a more peaceful world over there again. I believe in the power of speaking things into existence. I think it's a good thing to believe. Talk to him, answer your call. And I think all of our call right now is to God bless Ukraine. Right? God bless Ukraine. And that is speaking it into existence. Because if we just hold back on different lyrics or different positives that we can cling to in this crazy world, then what kind of spirituality are we talking about if we're not bringing the spiritual thoughts of leaders eons ago, like Martin Luther? But I love this one line. We tremble not. We tremble not. We are able, thank God, to get on this app and talk to each other. Unlike Russia, where they're shutting down any form of communication right now. And, you know, it's dangerous when they do that. It's dangerous the way they've lied to their own people. But more importantly, it's an opportunity for us to come in with a grounded approach whether it be a lyric or a story we read or something that can uplift us and uplift the culture. That's why this app needs to be talked about more, because this app has real life stories of life changing moments. And if we just hone in on all of your stories and all of your life changing moments, we would be way better off. And we can turn the ship around just by what we talk about on this. It could inspire a whole nation to think that and to believe that things could be better. I would say the entire world could be changed when they hear these inspirational stories. I pray so anyway. But I'm convinced you guys don't come on Wisdom just to talk and rant and everything like that. You come on here for a message, a story, so we can be the wiser after listening to your talk or listening to your interview or conversation with your guests. All in all, we can do our part to change the ship here by not being in the doldrums every minute of the day. Who wants to hear that Russia is going to bomb another city in Ukraine? Who wants to hear that every damn minute of the day? I know I don't. I know that to fill what is needed, and what is needed right now is to turn off the TV and focus on each other. Focus on our brothers and sisters in Ukraine, yes. And then focus on your next door neighbor. Not be subjugated or subjected to the television every minute with these dour reports and these no signs of hope mentalities that we're hearing. No, wisdom gives you hope. Wisdom is telling us when we hear these stories that we can prevail. And we will prevail. But the message shouldn't be contained to just wisdom. I actually simulcast this podcast to my podcasting uh, network, if you will, Alex Garrett podcast, because I want Wisdom's brand to be attached to that. I want Wisdom to have. I want to talk about Wisdom a lot, actually, and the good stories that we're hearing, and the trials and the tribulations to learn from. Also, by the way, I'm so glad that you guys are joining me right now, and it's kind of exciting to have these live hits, because I could just talk for hours about how um, things need to change quickly, and we can talk about spirituality in a very tough time of feeling like we don't have spirituality in the world, but we have to act on it. And the most spiritual thing I think we can do is take these stories and bring them out into the world. And I would like to hear from you if you're listening. I don't know how you join, but if you want to join in, you can for a bit. How do you use your Wisdom app? Because obviously people are coming here for the wisdom of each other's lives and what we learn day to day and waking up every day to get it right, right? That's what the whole purpose of life is. As you get older, it's to make every day better than the previous day and make it right. Make it right. And yes, make it right in his eyes as well. But this app is showing that we are not alone, that we are all having stories to share. For those of you who may not know, I rollerblade around New York on one leg. And, one thing I'm seeing and noticing is, yes, I've got people who are homeless asking me for $1 or two. Now, I sometimes say, well, how come you're hustling someone who has crutches? It doesn't make sense. at all. But at the same time, that's how rough we are in this culture, that not everybody's getting that fair shake. How come veterans are coming home and not getting the proper housing they need when they come back after serving our country gallantly, if you will? Why don't they have a home to come back to sometimes? It's awful. We are so focused on hearing reports of what's going on and more the strategic, not so much the personal sometimes, but the strategic approach of the United States, China, Russia, China, Ukraine, than the personal, the interpersonal exchanges. That's why I would hope mainstream networks pick up on your guys' stories too, because there needs to be a place where we could get stories and people's stories trending that aren't trending, because once we get them trending, it could open up maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hearts and minds to realize they're not alone. Isn't that also why you joined the app, to know that you're not alone? We all have struggles. You have struggles. I have struggles. I don't know what's going on right here, but okay. So anyway, I just want to hear from you. AlexAlexGenYC.com. AlexAlexGenYC.com. Or you can join in this talk for a minute now with me, because I'd always love to hear from you guys. I love that you guys have these back and forths in your own channels as well on the Wisdom app. And I've not started that here on this page, but maybe I will. AlexGNYC on Wisdom. But let's have a change of pace, of heart, of mind. Let's not just share our stories preaching to the choir, if you will. Let's take these stories on Wisdom and blow them up for people to see. Yeah, I've got a life-changing story. Yeah, I've got a experience that has changed me. Yeah, you are not alone. We literally have been in these chaotic times together while being at home, true, but together in some sort of way. And once the world opens up back up, I would love to see the connection stay. I'd love to see the connection stay uh, together as we head out of this pandemic. That is my hope. So don't be afraid to share these wisdom talks that you do into the world, because I think it's going to change things and speak things into existence that I'm going to hopefully do with this app as well on Wisdom. But for now, I'm Alexander Garrett, AlexGNYC1 on Instagram, Twitter, and we'll talk to you soon.